The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you,
O Lord.
When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, and Salome brought spices so that they might go and anoint him. Very early, when the sun had risen, on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb. They were saying to one another, Who will roll back the stone for us for the entrance of the tomb? When they looked up, they saw that the stone had been rolled back. It was very large. On entering the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a white robe, and they were utterly amazed. He said to them, Do not be amazed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, the crucified. He has been risen. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. But go and tell his disciples and Peter, he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him, as he told you. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
We're about halfway there. We've all had the experience at family gatherings of someone pulling out the family album. We used to take pictures for important family events. Now all the photos, of course, are on the iPhones. When we see old photographs, they trigger memories and stories of our loved ones, both past and present. We relive these events that have a profound impact on our lives. Tonight we've opened the family album of an Easter people. We began by kindling a new fire, banishing the darkness, that the light of Christ can be made present and can make present to us the mystery of God's manifest love throughout the story of salvation. In the singing of the great Easter hymn of the resurrection, we joyfully proclaim God's love for us in Jesus, who is the light of the world. In our readings, we saw God creating the universe and the wonderful world in which we live, giving it into our hands to protect and nurture our living Mother Earth. We encountered Abraham in his willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac, Moses in the liberation of the Israelites from slavery into Egypt, and the prophets encouraging the people in exile to faithfulness to the covenant and hope for the restoration of Israel in the future. We saw God acting in history, preparing for the incarnation, God becoming man in Jesus. Our Triduum liturgy began Thursday with the commemoration of the Last Supper, continued on Friday with the Passion, and tonight we celebrate the resurrection and new life, and we look forward to the future. This is a night of rebirth through waters that surge, that refresh, that pry us from the clutches of death. As our elect enter into the life-giving waters, remember that we too have come through the water, defying death and rising to new life in the Lord. This is the night of the Spirit. We glisten with oil, the chrism that marks us as a royal priestly people, called to announce God's good news of love and salvation. This is the night the Spirit confirms for us that life does overcome death. This is the night of a banquet. We break bread that is much more than bread. We enter more deeply into the mystery of God's grace. This is the night of Alleluia, where we celebrate that Christ is risen, truly risen. And this Alleluia message calls us beyond the cross, beyond the tomb, beyond the font, even beyond the banquet. The Easter family album continues in us, and we are sent into the world to live Jesus and to be messengers of forgiveness, acceptance, hospitality, peace, and love. In her poem, Passion Play, Catherine de Vig says through the character of Jesus, I send you to announce a deathless world emerging from the sea of transformation, rising in the morning light. The winter is past, beloved, the night is over. Wake from your ancestral fears and see the empty grave, the folded linen, the darkness rolled away. You live, you are alive. Fear not, I am with you always until the end of the world. We are an Alleluia people, for Christ is risen, he is truly risen, and we are alive in Christ.